You used to believe, just take calcium every day and your bones will be strong for life. You eat well, diligently exercise, and even remember to take your calcium pill every night. But then, the bone density test results show you have severe osteoporosis. That is the truth that makes many people over 60 startled. Most of us think bones are calcium. But we don't know that bones are made up of 30 to 40% collagen, which helps bones be elastic, flexible, and resistant to fractures. Bones are not just a solid mass. Bones are living structures, and to be healthy, they need a synchronized nutritional ecosystem. In today's video, based on Mark Hyman's theory, I will share with you 6 golden nutrients strengthen bones naturally after 60, and especially stop bone loss. If you want to maintain a steady gait and live actively until the end of your life, hit subscribe. This is the place for you. Let's start with a harsh truth. Calcium does not turn into bone by itself. Why is that? Simply put, you can understand that calcium is like bricks. But to build a house, you also need cement, mortar, steel, construction engineers, and time for everything to bind together. With bones it's the same. If you only supplement with calcium but lack vitamin D3, K2, collagen, magnesium, or boron, then calcium will not be directed to the right place. And it can even deposit in the wrong places like blood vessel walls, leading to atherosclerosis, high blood pressure, or heart attacks. That's why so many people who regularly take calcium for many years still suffer from fractures or severe osteoporosis, because they are just building a house without a foundation. According to Dr. Mark Hyman, to maintain strong bones after the age of 60, you need to understand the coordinated nutritional ecosystem, not just a daily calcium pill. In the next section, I will guide you through each nutrient, its role, how it works, and suitable food sources for seniors. Please stay tuned, because sometimes just a small change in perception can save your health in old age. You may not know, no matter how much calcium you consume, if your body lacks vitamin D3, most of that calcium will pass through your body without being absorbed, just like pouring bricks in front of your house without anyone opening the door to let them in for construction. Vitamin D3 is the one who opens the door. This is the nutrient that helps the small intestine absorb calcium from food or supplements, while also helping calcium bind to bone tissue instead of being deposited in the kidneys or blood vessels. According to Dr. Mark Hyman, one of the pioneers of functional medicine in the U.S., vitamin D is not just a vitamin, but also an essential hormone that regulates hundreds of life processes in the body, including bone regeneration, immunity, and anti-inflammation. I have treated many patients with severe osteoporosis even though they regularly took calcium. He shared, "I have treated many patients with severe osteoporosis even though they regularly took calcium. But only when I conducted a blood test did I discover they were severely deficient in vitamin D. After supplementing with the correct dose of D3, their bone density improved significantly in just a few months. After correctly supplementing with the right dose of D3, their bone density improved significantly within just a few months." A study published in the Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism, 2019, also showed that seniors with low vitamin D levels, less than 20 nanograms per milliliter, have a 70% higher risk of hip fractures compared to those with sufficient D3 levels, greater than 30 nanograms per milliliter. The noteworthy point is that in people over 60 years old, the ability to synthesize vitamin D3 through the skin decreases by 50 to 75%. They also have less sun exposure or frequently apply sunscreen, leading to severe deficiencies without realizing it. Therefore, properly supplementing D3 is extremely important. Regarding natural sources, early morning sunlight before 9 a.m., with direct skin exposure to the sun for about 15 to 20 minutes each day, is a natural way to synthesize D3. Some foods rich in D3 include wild salmon, chicken eggs, yolk, beef liver, and vitamin D fortified dairy products. For people over 60 years old, the recommended D3 dosage is usually 1,000 to 2,000 IU/day, but ideally, a blood test should be done to determine the exact need. When supplementing, choose the D3 form, cholecalciferol, because it has higher biological efficacy compared to D2. Especially, D3 should be taken with fat, after meals, to enhance absorption, and combined with vitamin K2 to direct calcium into the bones instead of depositing it in the blood vessels. Here is a senior-friendly meal suggestion. Breakfast includes boiled eggs with whole grain bread, rich in D3 protein choline. Lunch is grilled salmon with stir-fried vegetables and olive oil, rich in D3 omega-3 healthy fats. Dinner could be chicken soup with vegetables and a glass of D3 fortified milk, supplementing collagen, calcium, magnesium. Thus, if you are already taking calcium, vitamin D3 is an indispensable companion. Calcium can only be effective when it has the right guide, and D3 is that guide. In the next section we will talk about vitamin K2, the gatekeeper that keeps calcium from going astray. Stay tuned, because the right knowledge today can protect your steady footing for many years to come. If vitamin D3 is the guide that brings calcium into the body, then vitamin K2 is the final coordinator, ensuring that calcium is delivered to the right place, the bones, and does not stray to dangerous areas like blood vessels or kidneys. This is a special and very distinct role of K2 compared to other vitamins. It acts like a gatekeeper, activating two important types of proteins: osteocalcin, which helps bind calcium to bone tissue, and matrix GLA protein, which inhibits calcium deposition in blood vessels. Thanks to that, K2 not only helps build strong bones but also protects cardiovascular health, two issues that often go hand in hand in the elderly. One of the reasons why many people regularly take calcium but still have weak bones, while their blood vessels become hardened, is due to a long-standing deficiency of vitamin K2. K2 is not as popular as D3 or C, and very few people pay attention to it. However, without it, calcium can go astray, causing harm instead of bringing benefits. A study published in Thrombosis and Hemostasis, 2004, tracked 4,807 people for over 7 years and found that those who consumed the most vitamin K2 had a 57% lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease and a 52% lower risk of arterial calcification compared to the lowest consumption group. This clearly shows K2 is not only related to bones, but also a vital shield for the vascular system. For bones, vitamin K2 helps osteocalcin, a bone-building protein, to be activated and binds calcium to the correct structure of bone tissue. If there is a lack of K2, osteocalcin remains in a sleeping state, causing calcium to not be fixed, leading to porous, hollow, and brittle bones. Many studies in Japan have also demonstrated that people who consume a lot of K2, especially from natto, fermented soybeans, have a significantly lower rate of osteoporosis. Therefore, for people over 60 years old, supplementing with K2 not only enhances the effectiveness of calcium and D3 but also serves as a safety lock step to prevent dangerous complications such as arteriosclerosis, kidney stones, or bone fractures due to improper absorption. Vitamin K2 has two main forms: negative 4 Malawian kwaches and negative 7 Malawian kwaches. Among them, negative 7 Malawian kwaches has a longer half-life in the blood and is considered more effective in supporting bone and cardiovascular health. Negative 7 Malawian kwaches is often found in fermented foods. Regarding supplementation, you can introduce K2 into your body in two ways. Natural foods. Natto, a fermented soybean dish from Japan, richest in negative 7 Malawian kwaches. Egg yolks, aged cheese, chicken liver. Supplement form. Used together with D3 in a combined tablet, e.g., D3 plus K2 negative 7 Malawian kwaches. Taken after a fat-containing meal for optimal absorption. A small suggestion for a senior-friendly menu. Breakfast, whole grain bread and sunny-side-up egg. Lunch, rice plus natto or tofu with tomato sauce and green vegetables. Dinner, chicken porridge plus grated aged cheese, Parmesan, plus walnuts. In summary, vitamin K2 is the silent yet extremely important commander in building a solid skeletal system and protecting blood vessels from the invasion of misplaced calcium. If D3 is the key that brings calcium into the house, then K2 is the one who ensures that calcium does not destroy that house. In the next section, we will explore a less discussed component that plays a vital structural role in bones: collagen. Stay tuned, because when you understand correctly, you will live much healthier. If calcium is the hard material and vitamin D3 the gatekeeper, then collagen is the flexible framework that holds your bones together. While most people associate collagen with youthful skin or beauty products, what they don't realize is that collagen makes up 30 to 40% of the protein content in bones, making it a structural foundation, not just a cosmetic trend. Collagen acts like the steel reinforcement inside concrete. While calcium gives your bones hardness, collagen gives them resilience, flexibility, and shock absorption. Without enough collagen, your bones may appear dense but are actually brittle, more prone to cracks, fractures, or breaks even from minor falls. Dr. Mark Hyman explains this beautifully in his work on functional medicine. Collagen is not about beauty, it's about infrastructure. It's the scaffolding that gives bones, joints, tendons, and ligaments their form and strength. Aging without supporting your collagen network is like driving a car with rusted joints. Sooner or later, something snaps. The challenge? After the age of 60, your body's natural collagen production declines dramatically, by up to 50%. This decline doesn't just show on your skin as sagging or wrinkles. It happens deep inside your body, affecting bone density, joint stability, and connective tissue strength. A 2018 randomized, placebo-controlled study published in the journal Nutrients followed 131 postmenopausal women with age-related bone loss. After 12 months of taking collagen peptides daily, the group showed a significant increase in bone mineral density in both the spine and femur, compared to the placebo group. Researchers concluded that collagen supplementation may reduce bone degradation and support bone formation, especially in populations at high risk of osteoporosis. So what happens when collagen is missing? Your bones lose their internal netting and become rigid and fragile. You may feel stiffness, joint pain, slower healing after injury, and in many cases, bone fractures from minor accidents. This explains why many seniors experience hip or wrist fractures despite having relatively decent calcium scores, because their bones are structurally weak from collagen depletion. But here's the good news. Collagen is not difficult to restore. It just requires the right building blocks and consistent habits. Natural food sources rich in collagen or its precursors include bone broth, slow cooked from beef or chicken bones, chicken skin cooked slowly, fish with bones or skin, especially sardines or whole small fish, gelatin from boiled cartilage or skin, egg whites and foods rich in glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, the amino acids needed to build collagen. In addition to maximize collagen synthesis, your body also needs vitamin C, which acts as a critical cofactor in collagen formation. Without enough vitamin C, the collagen building process breaks down, even if you're eating all the right foods. That's why combining collagen-rich foods with vitamin C-rich options like kiwi, berries, or bell peppers is highly recommended. Here's a sample bone-friendly meal plan. Breakfast: scrambled eggs with sautéed spinach and strawberries on the side. Lunch: chicken soup slow-cooked with skin and bones, served with cooked carrots and pumpkin. Dinner: grilled sardines with roasted sweet potatoes and steamed broccoli. You may also consider collagen peptide supplements, especially hydrolyzed collagen, which is more bioavailable for seniors with reduced digestive efficiency. A typical effective dose in studies ranges between 5 to 10 grams daily, ideally taken on an empty stomach or with vitamin C. To sum up, collagen is the invisible scaffolding of your bones. It doesn't show up on a regular calcium scan, but it determines whether your bones will bend or break. As Dr. Mark Hyman puts it, you don't need younger bones, you need stronger scaffolding. In the next section, we'll look at magnesium, the mineral that activates hundreds of enzymes and helps balance calcium inside your body. Stay with us, your bones will thank you. After calcium, vitamin D3, and collagen, there's one crucial mineral that often gets overlooked. Yet without it, none of those other nutrients can do their job properly. That mineral is magnesium. Magnesium plays a foundational role in maintaining strong bones, not by directly building them, but by activating the enzymes and hormones that make bone building possible. Think of magnesium as the foreman on a construction site. The bricks, calcium, the blueprints, vitamin D3, and the scaffolding, collagen, may all be in place, but if the foreman doesn't show up, nothing gets done. One of magnesium's most important functions is its role in activating vitamin D. Without enough magnesium, vitamin D remains inactive in the body, which means calcium won't be properly absorbed or directed into the bones. Magnesium also helps regulate parathyroid hormone, PTH, which controls calcium levels in the blood and bone. Without this regulation, calcium levels can spike unpredictably, potentially leading to calcification of soft tissues like arteries or kidneys. According to Dr. Mark Hyman, Magnesium is the master mineral. It's involved in over 300 enzyme reactions, including those responsible for building and maintaining strong bones. Yet, it's one of the most common nutrient deficiencies in the modern world, especially among older adults. Why are seniors particularly at risk? As we age, magnesium absorption in the gut declines, while magnesium loss through the kidneys increases. Add to that a typical Western diet low in leafy greens and nuts, and it's no surprise that many seniors are magnesium deficient, often without knowing it. A landmark study published in Osteoporosis International, 2013, followed over 2,000 older adults for more than 8 years. Researchers found that individuals with higher magnesium intake had significantly greater bone mineral density and were less likely to suffer fractures, especially hip fractures. The study concluded that magnesium is an independent predictor of bone strength, even after accounting for calcium and vitamin D levels. So what happens when the body is low on magnesium? Calcium becomes harder to control and may deposit in soft tissues, raising the risk of arterial calcification or kidney stones. Vitamin D becomes less effective, reducing calcium absorption. Bone turnover becomes imbalanced. The body breaks down more bone than it rebuilds. You may also experience muscle cramps, restless legs, fatigue, or irregular heartbeat, all signs of magnesium deficiency that many seniors dismiss as just aging. The good news? Magnesium is abundant in many whole foods, especially plant-based options that are gentle on digestion and rich in other supportive nutrients. Here are some of the best magnesium-rich foods for seniors. Pumpkin seeds, a true magnesium powerhouse. Almonds and cashews. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard cooked to reduce oxalates. Avocados. Black beans and edamame. Whole grains like brown rice and quinoa. Dark chocolate in moderation. To enhance absorption, magnesium should be consumed throughout the day, not in one large dose, and ideally from a variety of sources. If supplementation is needed, look for magnesium glycinate or citrate, which are more easily absorbed and gentle on the stomach. Here's a sample magnesium-friendly meal plan. Breakfast: oatmeal with sliced banana, chia seeds, and a few almonds. Lunch: spinach and quinoa salad with avocado and grilled chicken. Dinner: steamed black beans with brown rice, sautéed kale, and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. Snack: a square of 70% dark chocolate with a handful of cashews. In short, magnesium may be invisible, but its absence is deeply felt. It is the quiet conductor that keeps calcium, vitamin D, and your entire bone-building orchestra in tune. Without it, even the best nutrients in the world cannot work together properly. As Dr. Hyman often says, you don't just need more calcium, you need smarter coordination of nutrients. And magnesium is the mineral that makes that harmony happen. In the next section we'll explore boron, a trace mineral that may be small in quantity, but mighty in impact when it comes to supporting hormones and bone metabolism. Stay with us, because understanding these details could be what keeps you standing strong and steady for years to come. When it comes to bone health, boron is one of the most underrated, yet critically important, trace minerals. It doesn't get the spotlight like calcium or vitamin D, but its behind-the-scenes role is essential in helping your bones stay strong, balanced, and hormonally supported, especially as you age. Boron acts as a nutrient amplifier. It supports the metabolism of calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D, essentially helping the body retain and utilize these nutrients more effectively. But what makes boron truly unique is its influence on hormones, particularly estrogen and testosterone, two hormones that play a key role in maintaining bone density, especially in postmenopausal women and older men. As we age, our natural production of these hormones declines sharply. This hormonal drop is one of the main drivers of bone loss after 50. Boron helps preserve these hormone levels by slowing their breakdown, thus helping maintain a hormonal environment that protects against bone thinning and fractures. According to Dr. Mark Hyman, boron may be small in quantity, but it has a big job. It helps fine-tune the hormonal system, keeps calcium in check, and supports bone-building enzymes. In functional medicine, we always look for these small but powerful regulators, and boron is one of them. One compelling study published in Environmental Health Perspectives, 1994, found that boron supplementation, 3 mg per day, in postmenopausal women significantly reduced urinary calcium and magnesium loss, while also increasing levels of estradiol, a key form of estrogen. These changes directly support the reduction of bone loss and fracture risk in aging populations. Another more recent study in Biological Trace Element Research, 2011, showed that boron supplementation increased bone strength and mineral content in animal models, suggesting its potential as a natural support in osteoporosis prevention. What happens when you don't get enough boron? Your body loses calcium and magnesium more easily through urine. Vitamin D becomes less effective in regulating bone metabolism. Estrogen and testosterone break down faster, accelerating bone loss. Your bones become more porous and fracture-prone, even if your calcium intake is adequate. Fortunately, boron is present in many everyday whole foods, especially plant-based options. Here are some of the most boron-rich foods ideal for seniors. Prunes, dried plums, one of the highest boron sources. Avocados, raisins and dried apricots. Nuts, particularly almonds and walnuts. Apples, pears and grapes. Broccoli and leafy greens. Red wine in moderation. Here's a senior-friendly meal plan to gently increase boron intake. Breakfast, whole grain toast with avocado and a few walnuts. Lunch, spinach salad with chopped apple, goat cheese and olive oil. Snack, a handful of prunes and almonds. Dinner, grilled chicken with roasted broccoli and sweet potato. Dessert, optional, a small glass of red wine and dried apricots. While most people can get enough boron through food, supplementation may be considered for those at high risk of osteoporosis, but always under the guidance of a healthcare provider. The typical effective dose used in research is around 1 to 3 milligrams per day. To summarize, boron is the subtle stabilizer of your bone-building orchestra. It ensures that your nutrients stay in place, your hormones stay balanced, and your bones stay dense and resilient. As Dr. Hyman reminds us, it's not about taking more, it's about using what you have more intelligently. And boron helps you do exactly that. In the next section, we'll wrap up this foundation of bone health with a deeper look at how all these nutrients work together, and why no single nutrient, not even calcium, can do it alone. Stay with us, because your best years are still ahead, and your bones deserve every bit of strength to carry you there. While calcium builds the structure, vitamin D and K guide calcium, collagen provides flexibility, magnesium activates, and boron regulates hormones. There is one more player that acts as the peacekeeper in your bone-building ecosystem: omega-3 fatty acids. Often known for heart and brain benefits, omega-3s, especially EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, also play a vital but overlooked role in bone health, particularly by reducing chronic inflammation and supporting the integrity of collagen in bones and joints. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the hidden drivers of bone loss in aging adults. It accelerates osteoclast activity, the process by which bones are broken down, and suppresses osteoblasts, the cells that rebuild bone. This imbalance slowly weakens your bones from the inside, even if you're taking enough calcium and vitamin D. Omega-3s work by modulating the inflammatory response, shifting the body away from a breakdown mode and into a more balanced, healing state. In doing so, they help preserve collagen structures in bones, joints, and cartilage, making the bone not only dense but also resilient and elastic, which reduces fracture risk. Dr. Mark Hyman, in many of his teachings, refers to omega-3s as the anti-inflammatory fat that protects your body's infrastructure, from your arteries to your bones. Without it, everything becomes stiff, inflamed, and prone to breakdown. The importance of omega-3s for bone health is backed by science. A 2010 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition analyzed data from over 1,500 older adults. It found that higher blood levels of omega-3s were associated with greater bone mineral density, especially in the hips. Moreover, individuals with the highest levels of EPA and DHA had significantly lower levels of bone resorption markers, the signs that bone is being broken down faster than it is rebuilt. Another study in Osteoporosis International, 2013, showed that omega-3 supplementation improved calcium balance in older women, enhancing calcium absorption and reducing excretion, thereby directly supporting bone retention. What happens when omega-3 levels are low? Your body remains in a pro-inflammatory state, silently attacking bones, joints, and soft tissues. Collagen structures in cartilage and bone degrade more quickly. The risk of osteoporosis, arthritis, and joint pain increases. Healing from fractures and injuries becomes slower and less complete. The body cannot produce EPA and DHA on its own, so they must come from diet or supplements. For older adults, this is even more critical, as aging reduces the efficiency of converting plant-based omega-3s, ALA, into the more active EPA and DHA forms. Here are the most omega-3 rich foods for seniors. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, anchovies, herring. Ground flax seeds and chia seeds, rich in ALA. Walnuts. Algae oil, a plant-based source of DHA, great for vegetarians. Eggs from pasture-raised or omega-3 enriched chickens. To maximize absorption and benefit, omega-3 should be consumed consistently. Ideally 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week, or through a high-quality fish oil supplement, 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of EPA plus DHA daily, unless otherwise prescribed. Here's a bone-friendly omega-3 meal plan. Breakfast: Oatmeal with ground flax seeds and walnuts. Lunch, grilled sardines with a leafy green salad and olive oil dressing. Dinner, baked salmon with steamed broccoli and sweet potatoes. Snack, chia pudding or a small handful of walnuts. In summary, omega-3 is not just a heart nutrient. It's a bone-preserving, collagen-protecting, anti-inflammatory shield. It works silently to maintain harmony in your body's internal architecture. As Dr. Hyman puts it, if inflammation is the fire that damages your bones from within, then omega-3s are the water that cools it down. After 60, your bones are no longer just about calcium. They are a living, breathing structure, one that depends on a delicate, intelligent system of nutrients working together. Each of them is vital on its own, but together they form the ecosystem your bones need to stay strong, stable, and fracture-free. Dr. Mark Hyman often says, "Health isn't about treating symptoms, it's about restoring balance." And when it comes to bones, balance comes from nourishment, not just one pill. If you've been taking calcium for years without results, if you're starting to feel your knees wobble, your back ache, or your grip weaken, then maybe, just maybe, what your body needs isn't more calcium, but a smarter way to support your bones from the inside out. Direct hit. So don't just stop bone loss, start bone renewal. And it begins with knowledge, action, and consistency, one smart choice at a time. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe, share it with someone you love, and let us know in the comments which nutrient surprised you most, or which one you're going to focus on this week. Backhand index pointing right. Your strongest years are not behind you, they can still be ahead. Let's make that happen, together.